Fashion Technology Video Volume 33. Fashion Technology Video is produced in conjunction with Fashion Technology Magazine. All techniques demonstrated on this video are marked with our video symbol in Fashion Technology Magazine Volume 33. V-Bob. The stylist intends to create an exciting new bob shape on Claire's straight, one-length hair. An inverted V shape through the side areas will allow the hair to swing forward onto the face. The length of the hair will be maintained. The stylist finds the model's natural side parting. Beginning to cut at the nape, this diagram demonstrates a diagonal sectioning and cut line at the base of the head. Sections are taken working up the head. A parting is taken across the crown from ear to ear. The first diagonal section is taken from just above the ear, moving down towards the nape. Following the diagonal line of the section, the stylist cuts upwards against the skin. The nape is tidied with the points of the scissors. The next section is taken again diagonally, parallel to the first. The hair is combed down and cut freehand against the pre-cut baseline. The diagonal sectioning is maintained, combing the hair down to be cut against the pre-cut line. On reaching the occipital bone, sectioning moves to the front of the head. Sections on the opposite diagonal create an inverted V line. The hair will be cut parallel to the section angle. The stylist demonstrates the angle on which he will cut. Once again, he cuts the hair freehand against the skin, without tension, allowing for the protrusion of the ear. Diagonal sections are maintained through the front side area. The pre-cut line is used as a guide. Moving towards the crown, the inverted V section line is taken right across the side of the head. Again, the hair is cut without tension, following the pre-cut guideline. Sections are taken right up to the parting. The hair is combed down neatly to cut freehand. Notice how cutting without tension stops the model's ear, disturbing strong geometric baseline. At the front of the face, the hair is allowed to fall forward naturally and is cut diagonally against the skin. inverted V line cannot be clearly seen. The opposite side of the head will be cut in the same way. A bone will be created at the center of the nape as the hair is cut on an upwards diagonal towards the ear. The hair is kept wet for an accurate cut. A diagonal section is taken to just above the ear, and the hair is on an upwards line against the skin. Diagonal sections are taken parallel up the head as before. The hair is cut against the pre-cut guide. From the occipital bone upwards, the rear side section is joined with the frontal side sections in an inverted V line. The hair is cut parallel to the sections as before, without tension, against the skin. The comb is used to hold the hair in place as the sections become thicker. The hair is allowed to fall naturally onto the face from the front hairline. The sections are held in place with a comb and cut on a diagonal against the skin. The hair is combed over from the nostril side. The diagonal line from the ear onto the face is made extremely long towards the chin. The hair is cut in its natural position. Comb back. This diagram demonstrates the way in which graduation is achieved at the base. It parallel vertical sections across the back of the head, which are cut 3 stages as shown. A second nape. The hair is approximately cut like the hair is pulled out. Yeah. The stylus works as a function back to aim. The graduation that is being created at the baseline is now visible across the head. It is the center of the graduation. The vertical sectioning is taken through the side of the top, maintaining an elevation of coverage directly against the back of the head. This is taken to the front hairline. The effect of the scene. Working from the center back of the head, parallel vertical partings are taken, working forward. Again, the hair is directed back to be cut on an elevated diagonal. Take it right through the front. blow-dried into shape, natural filling and low graduation pushes the hair forward onto the face. The result is stunning. The umbrella scoop. To provide max curl and reduce frizziness in the model's hair, a light dressing cream is applied before cutting. Taking vertical parallel sections through the center back of the head, the hair is elevated, scooped out as the diagram shows. The nape hair is left its original length. The angle of elevation increases as sections move up towards the crown. A vertical section is taken from just above the nape. The hair is elevated to approximately 90 degrees from the scalp. The stylist begins by cutting straight across the bottom of the section, then sliding out, creating a scooped line. Subsequent vertical sections are taken across the back of the head, parallel with the first, which is used as a length and shape guide. Sections to either side of the first are directed over to the center back of the head. The nape hair is left uncut. The scoop shape that is being created through the back area can now be clearly seen. To maintain the weight distribution through the back area, the back of the crown is strongly elevated and cut on a diagonal, taking a length guide from the scooped area below. Vertical sectioning is taken through to the sides of the head. The hair is combed through thoroughly. A wider toothed comb than usual has been used throughout this cut, as the model's hair is thick and very curly. The hair is over-directed to the back of the head, then scooped out and graduated as before. The way in which the back of the cut lies can now be clearly seen. The parallel vertical sections move forward towards the face. Again, the hair is directed back and scooped out, using the pre-cut sections as a length and shape guide. The stylus works right round to the front hairline. The frontal section is pulled straight back and elevated to be cut. The scoop shape is now clearly visible. As the model's hair begins to dry, the stylist is able to check the shape and weight distribution within the cut. The frontal sections are now pulled forward and scooped out, creating a strong concave curve. This diagram demonstrates the cross-checking, sectioning, and cutting lines for the side of the head. The hair is strongly elevated and cut to blend frontal sections with the back. A guide is taken from either side of the frontal section. The top area is blended into the side by taking large horizontal sections across the crown, elevating the hair strongly and cutting on a diagonal. The opposite side of the head is cut in the same way as the first side. Starting from the back of the head and working forward, taking parallel vertical sections, the hair is scooped out. As the sections move forward, the hair is directed back to be cut. Working to a side parting, this diagram shows the curve of the fringe area. A horizontal fringe section is taken just back from the front hairline. The hair is held away from the model's face and cut on a downwards curve. The hair is left long so that it falls onto the face. The stylist checks the way in which the hair falls. A diffuser is used to dry the hair for maximum curl definition and volume. Umbrella scoop, an exciting new sculptured shape for curly hair. The addition of a little styling cream produces this sophisticated variation. Contrast flip. The stylist works with the model's hair to establish texture and root movement. Working with the natural wave in the hair, you will create lift through the crown, with a tighter shape curling onto the face through the sides. The hair is parted on the side. The stylist cuts the base across the nape, freehand against the skin. Through the side, working up to the side parting, diagonal sections are taken. The hair is combed down and cut on a downward diagonal from the ear, freehand against the skin. To create a flick along the baseline through the nape, vertical sections are taken, starting with the center of the back of the head. The nape hair is left out of the first lower section. The stylist cuts down into the hair and then into it from the other side of the section, almost creating a right angle. Further up the back of the head, on top of the first section, the hair is scooped down to meet the pre-cut area. The scoop technique is carried right up to the crown. Parallel vertical sections are taken through to the side area. The hair is over-directed back towards the center back of the head to be scoop cut against the original guide. The curved cut line can now be clearly seen. As before, the nape hair is left at a right angle to achieve a strong flip along the baseline. The pre-cut back area is taken shorter, cutting in the same scoop manner to produce a stronger shape, closely following the head shape, then swinging out at the nape. The nape line is rounded off freehand on the opposite side of the head. A diagonal section is taken through into the front of the side area. The baseline is cut on a downward angle, leaving this side slightly longer than the first. The scoop method is repeated through the back area, directing each section towards the center. Vertical sections and scoop cutting are carried through from the back into the side area. Each section is pulled towards the back of the head to be cut. The angle of elevation is reduced gradually as the sections move forward. By lowering the angle of elevation, a low line of graduation is achieved through this side. Back crown sections are elevated and cut to create a squareness through the crown. entire crown from the front hairline is pulled back in large sections to be cut straight across against the pre-cut guide at the back of the crown. The short back area is joined with the long top area by taking vertical sections, elevating the hair, and removing corners by cutting diagonally. The short, chunky texture of the back area contrasts completely with the long, soft lines of the frontal area. This unique and versatile cut complements the model's hair texture and features perfectly. The curve. Before cutting, the stylist looks at the texture and root movement of the model's hair. A little styling cream is applied to the model's damp hair to counteract dryness and improve manageability. Parallel vertical sections are taken across a central panel at the back of the head. The hair will be elevated to be cut on a curved line. Each vertical section is cut in two sections, one on top of the other. The first lower section is taken above the nape. The hair is cut from the bottom of the section up into a strong curve. The curve is now clearly visible. The second upper section is elevated and again cut from below, this time in an outward diagonal, taking the longest point of the lower section as a guide for the shortest point of the upper. Working across the back of the head, the primary cut section is used as a guide to length and curve. Sections are elevated and over-directed to this first section to be cut. The parallel sectioning and over-direction of the hair through the back can now be clearly seen. The vertical sections are carried across to just before the backs of the ears are reached. The weight distribution through the back of the cut can now be clearly seen. This diagram demonstrates the angle of elevation and cut lines for the back of the head. The nape hair is sectioned off and elevated strongly to be cut straight across. The stylist works across the nape in sections. Working up the back of the head to either side of a central parting, horizontal sections are elevated and taken on an inward curve, the longest ends being towards the ears. A horizontal concave line is cut through the back area. Stylist demonstrates the curved lines that have been created through the back of the cut. Working through into the side area, the first section is taken vertically above the ear. The hair is elevated to 90 degrees and cut on a slight outwards diagonal. This diagram demonstrates the sectioning method and angle of cut for the side area. From the original vertical guideline above the ear, the stylist works towards the back of the head, taking parallel vertical sections and over-directing them towards the guide to be cut. This has the effect of linking the back and side area. Maintaining the side parting, vertical sections are carried through the side of the cut. The sections are directed towards the back of the head, elevated and cut on a diagonal. Towards the front hairline, the hair will be directed forward and scooped out on a concave line as shown. The stylist takes his first section at the hairline and cuts a concave curve into the hair. The hair is pulled forward to be cut. Subsequent sections are taken parallel to the first, cutting against the original guide. The stylist demonstrates the curved line has been created. The result of the scoop cutting can now be clearly seen. Once the side area has been combed into place, the outline is tidied with the points of the scissors, freehand against the skin. This diagram shows sectioning and the diagonal cut line used at the face. Commencing at the front hairline, the first section is elevated and cut on an inward diagonal towards the parting. The stylist works back across the head, using the primary cut section as a guide. Sections are taken right back to the crown, brought forward and cut on a diagonal. vertical side sections on this side of the head are elevated and cut straight across as shown here. A horizontal parting is taken from above the ear to the front hairline. The hair is slightly elevated to approximately 45 degrees and cut straight across. Subsequent sections are taken above and parallel with the first and pulled down with a slight elevation to be cut against the pre-cut guide. The front curved fringe area is left heavy. Across the back of the crown, sections are directed over and away from the side parting to be cut. Leaving length at the ear, vertical and then horizontal sections are elevated at 90 degrees to the head and cut straight across to produce a square shape in that area. The stylist works forward from the crown, directing subsequent sections back to the pre-cut guideline. At the back of the side area, vertical sections are taken. The hair is elevated and directed slightly forward to be cut. Behind the ear, small vertical sections are elevated and cut on an inward diagonal, maintaining the outward swing of the nape hair. On the crown, segmented sections will be elevated and cut. Starting at the center of the back of the crown, the hair is pulled up and cut on a diagonal, maintaining length. The first section is used as a guide. Sections are taken to either side and cut, removing corners with a slight diagonal cut line. The curve. The hair curls onto and flips away from the face. Body has been built up on the crown by maintaining length in that area. Rough drying produces a stunning alternative look. Session makeup. The makeup artist will demonstrate how to apply the beautiful session look that you have just seen. A liquid foundation in a color close to the model's own skin is applied with a triangular cosmetic sponge. The foundation is set by pressing translucent powder into the base with a velvet powder puff. The excess powder is dusted away with a big soft brush. The brows are colored with a brown shadow. The color is brushed upwards into the brows for a natural effect. A pale off-white powder shadow is applied over the entire lid with a sponge tip applicator. Brown shadow is applied with a brush around the eye socket, winging the color out at the corner of the eyes. A dark gray-brown shadow is applied along the upper and lower lids close to the lashes to line the eyes. Around the outer corner of the eyes, the color is softly blended outwards. Black mascara is applied on top and underneath the lashes. A mascara comb is used to remove excess color and separate the lashes. A soft pink-brown blusher is lightly dusted over the cheeks and temples. A red lip lining pencil is used to give the mouth a sharp outline and prevent color bleed. The lips are colored with a red lipstick. A lip brush is used to give a neat and even application. Any imperfections are removed with a cotton bud. The lip color is blotted with a tissue. The blotted color is set with a little translucent powder. A little more lipstick is applied over the powdered lips for a perfect finish. The model is ready to go in front of the camera.